Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is AJ and you are watching Me and Mr. Vuitton. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is going to be a comparison video between the Givenchy Antigona in the size medium and the Louis Vuitton Montaigne GM and of course the black empreinte leather. So this was actually a requested video by a couple of different subscribers and friends on Instagram rather, so I wanted to go ahead and film this. It's an absolutely gorgeous spring day, but I did have some time to go ahead and film this video, so I thought I would do so because as I said, I have had a couple reviews to compare these two bags, or some requests rather. So getting straight into it, for the dimensions, I definitely would say they're very similar in size. The dimensions of the Givenchy Antigona, and again, this is the medium size. This is in the sugar goatskin leather, and mine happens to be in the color light beige. The dimensions are 14 wide, 11.5 high, and 7.5 in depth. And the strap drop of the two double handles is 4 inches, so it's very, very comfortable to slide on your arm. That's a 4-inch strap. The shoulder strap, which I will show you in a couple of moments, is an 11-inch drop. So when you put the shoulder strap on, the Montaigne GM is 15.4 inches in length. It's 11 inches in height, and it's 6.3 inches in depth. So again, very, very comparable in terms of overall dimensions and size. Detail wise, obviously they both are a double handled on the top, and then they have a shoulder strap conversion. Very, very similar in depth, as you can see there. And the strap drop, I would say on the Montaigne is probably about a 4-inch drop as well, because when you go to put it on your arm, it's very, very comfortable. So again, very, very, very similar there. Size wise, footprint, it's about the same on your body. And then also in terms of feet on the bottom, the Montaigne has the beautiful 4 feet there, and the Antigona has the leather pieces here which act as feet to sort of raise the bag a little bit off of the ground, so that if you do have to sit it down, there is a little bit of protection there. This bag obviously has silver hardware. I've only seen a couple of Antigonas with gold hardware, and those have been older models, like I think probably, you know, at least like 2014, maybe 2015. This bag is from 2017. But typically you'll see black with gold hardware in the Antigona, but for the most part it does come with silver. And then by the same respect, the Montaigne only most of the time will come with gold hardware. I believe that the poppy color had silver hardware, and I think that might be it for the Montaigne in the empreinte leather. And then of course the monogram, the regular monogram canvas, has gold hardware. So just some details of this bag. It's absolutely beautiful. It has this gorgeous embossing. It has, the straps are a main difference between these two, whereas, you know, they're both a top handle, but the handles of the Antigona are stationary. They're very kind of stiff, and they always are standing up straight like that. The Montaigne has the 2 double straps, but if you go to carry it on your shoulder or when you sit the bag down, the straps pop down inside of the bag. They invert and fold in. That's the way that they're mounted. So it's kind of a nice feature, just because they're out of the way. They're not sticking up, you know, if you have it on your shoulder, they're not poking you in the, you know, they're just kind of down and out of the way, I guess I would say. Whereas with the Antigona, they definitely are up, and they're there at all times. When you go to get into this bag, take the stuffing out here. You know, obviously if you do need to, if you're, you know, having your car seat or you need to get into it, you do obviously have to lift up the straps and then be able to, you know, reach around down in the bag. So that's something that you do have to kind of contend with. The inside of the Montaigne has several compartments. It has the back, has the centered zip compartment there, which is a full zip. I do have the shoulder strap that I store in here. And you And zip that up completely. The Montaigne does have the beautiful lock with it as well. So if you do want to secure that center compartment closed, like with your wallet or whatever, you can certainly do that. So it has that middle section, then it has a back section. It has 2 pockets here, and then it has 1 pocket here. This particular bag was made in France, and this has a very kind of stiff cotton kind of canvas material on the inside. This center compartment is leather, though it's the same flat leather as the sides of the bag. So it's definitely great for work. I do find this bag a little bit large, but it's a great size for work or like for travel, almost as like a briefcase. I have my, this is an iPad Air, and it fits very, very comfortably down inside of the bag, as you can see, and it would even fit if you wanted to put it in the center compartment. For safekeeping, you could absolutely do that. It definitely will fit. I usually never zip that center compartment because it's a little bit stiff, but you can see the iPad fits really well there in that center compartment, and it would still zip with plenty of space to spare. So it's definitely a great work bag, I would say. It's just so classy. I love the embossed leather. It does come with the clochette, which houses the keys, of course. And I just think it's a beautiful bag. It has the, the gold hardware, which really stands out against the black. I'm a sucker for gold, black and gold hardware. That's my favorite combo. And then to close the bag, the only way that you can totally close it, there's no zippered top. You have these 2 clips here, right there. It's the same as like a Neverfull. There's that 1 clip right there, and that's how you secure it. So if you want to keep it closed, that's what you would have to do, and it kind of draws the center of the bag in, and then it's closed there. So that's the only way to secure the bag completely. It's it's not like a top zipper like the Antigona where you can totally seal it up so that you can't reach down in it or whatever. So it does come with the luggage loop. I just keep it on here sort of as decoration. But if you wanted to be like extra chic and secure, then you can certainly take the luggage loop and attach it to the other strap, and it would hook the 2 straps together like that. I never have done that. It probably, you could do it for travel, I suppose, if you wanted to, but it just seems more like a decorative type piece to me. And then this bag, of course, does come with this gorgeous flat leather shoulder strap, which is sort of tapered. It's a great length for just throwing it on your shoulder if you need to. And it snaps on the same as an Alma will, which is with the clips here and on the opposite side, so that the bag doesn't like fall to one side or the other, but you can see it hangs pretty well. You will notice with this bag that if you had it like this with the strap on it, the handles, top handles are flipped down inside. And then if you did want to pick it up and throw it on your shoulder, that's what's going to happen, is that these straps will pop up and, they'll kind of, they don't really poke into you. I mean, they're going to hit your body, but they don't really get in the way necessarily. They're not real stiff, but they do pop up. They're not like the Monogram Montaigne canvas where the strap attaches on the side, and so those handles stay down in when you lift up and use the shoulder strap. So that's just something to be aware of, that you will have the straps, the handles popping up if you go to use that center or that shoulder strap, sorry. So like I said, overall a great bag. It's great for wet weather. You can use it in rain. I've gotten this bag totally poured on, and like it's fine. It dries right out. It doesn't leave spots. It's super durable. The gold hardware is just stunning. I just think it's a great bag for work. I've owned it in the monogram canvas as well, and you can't go wrong with either, to be quite honest. I think they're both beautiful in their own right. But Empreinte leather is just very, very durable, and it's just kind of the next step up in terms of luxury. So that is the scoop on the Montaigne. I also wanted to mention that this bag retails for $3,500 here in the United States. And that's price has held steady for probably at least 2 or 3 years, I would say, for this particular style. And then moving into the Antigona, this bag is obviously very, very simple. You know, on-print leather is nice because if you know handbags, you know that it's Louis Vuitton, and it obviously does have the imprinted LVs on it there. But the nice thing with the Antigona is that if you're really trying to be low profile and you don't want to scream a designer, then it's nice because unless you're really a handbag or a luxury connoisseur, a lot of people necessarily won't know what it is. They won't know that it's a designer handbag because the only, you know, logo work you have is right there on this V-shaped leather piece where it says Givenchy. So I do like that. I like that if I want to be a little bit more low-key and not scream a designer, then I will reach for this. And it just is, you know, it's definitely chic. It's more just understated, I would say. It doesn't scream designer. As I said, these two handles are totally stationary. They don't move. I will say that it's a little bit of, I never really zip my handbag, but it can be a little bit of a hassle if you were to zip it every time that you were using it, just because, as you saw there, to zip it, your hand has to pass through between the straps. And so, you know, if you're in a hurry or you're trying to get it open, it sometimes can be, you know, it just is a little bit fiddly. The zipper is extremely smooth on this bag, and it does have this really, really beautiful sort of oversized zipper pull, which I think is cool. But that's just something to take note of. Like I said, this bag does not have technical feet, like metal feet on the bottom. It does have these leather pieces, which do raise the bag up a little bit to protect it. This is in the sugar goat skin, which I've had, you know, a lot of luck with. First of all, it smells wonderful. It's a very, very durable kind of leather. I haven't had any color transfer issues on the back, and I did get this pre-loved from my beautiful friend Marissa. We did a bag swap, and I got this bag from her. So, you know, it really has worn well. I have not had any issues with color transfer. And then also we'll go ahead and unpack this bag to show you the inside. This is the shoulder strap that comes with the bag. It definitely is kind of just a one big black hole. I use a bag organizer in it because otherwise it's just like too much of a black hole. But this is what the inside of the bag looks like. It's a gorgeous beige kind of linen. I know a lot of people are disappointed in the lining, that they feel it's a little thin. It does tend to pill a little bit. I haven't had any issues with that thus far, but like I said, I use a bag organizer, so I'm not putting a whole lot of wear and tear directly onto the lining. And then inside of this one, besides it being just this big open compartment, it has a kind of a gusseted pocket there, a slip pocket, and then on the back it does have the zippered compartment right there. And then there's your Givenchy logo tag. This one was made in Italy. So the interior of it, again, is very, very roomy. Using the iPad Air as a example again, you will see it fits in here no problemo and with tons of room to spare. So again, it would be a great work bag. As a matter of fact, as I just saw, it lays down in there flat. So it does hold quite a bit. This bag can definitely get a little bit heavy. The two of them empty, I would say, are very, very comparable in weight. I would say the Montaigne's a little bit heavier just because of the more hardware in the lock. But if you were to take like the luggage loop and the lock and the strap off, you would definitely reduce some of the weight. They both tend to get a little heavy just because they are both leather handbags. The lining on the Antigona is a little bit thinner than the Montaigne, but again, this is a very, you know, big leather handbag that you tend to carry quite a bit in, I would say, and so it does just, you know, it does have some weight to it, I would say. It doesn't really bother me, but, you know, could get heavy, I definitely would say. And then the strap for the Antigona is interesting in the way that it attaches. So it has these hooks here, whoops, It has these hooks here on the end, and you just clip it onto the bag like so. They just slide in there. And then it sort of just hangs like this in the front, and it has a nice drop. I will say that I avoid carrying it by the shoulder strap for two reasons. The first is because the way that it hits for me at my height, these two straps tend to kind of end up under your armpit, and so it just is a little bit uncomfortable. You kind of have to put it way to the side, and I feel like it just looks a little bizarre. And then when you have things in the bag and you're carrying it by the shoulder strap, it tends to, I would say, collapse a little bit this way. And so I could see how it could lose its shape a little bit over time and just kind of collapse and not look as nice. So I use the shoulder strap very sparingly. Like if I have to run into work really quick with a bunch of other stuff, then I'll throw it on my shoulder, but otherwise that's not a permanent way for me to carry it, because it just is not quite as practical, and I do worry about a little bit losing some of the shape and structure of the bag. So if I need a true shoulder bag, I would use even like my Alma PM or my Jumbo. If I wanted like a really nice companion shopper type shoulder bag, then that's the way that I would go. So with all that being said, you can't go wrong with either one of these bags. The Antigona retails for $2,450, so they're about $1,000 in difference price-wise if you were to just go into like Nordstrom or Louis Vuitton and purchase the bag brand new. You can find them both for very reasonable prices, like on Fashion File and pre-loved sites. The Antigona holds its value fairly well, not, you know, as well as like Chanel or Louis Vuitton or Hermes bags, but you can find good deals really on either of these two. They're both great work bags. They're very, very chic. They're pretty much carefree, especially like if you picked up the Antigona in black or in a darker color, it would be totally carefree. I used to have it in navy and in black, and it was totally carefree. It could be rained on or snowed on, and it didn't leave any kind of marks on the leather. So they're both very, very practical, beautiful handbags, a little bit more understated, I would say. The Louis Vuitton's a little bit more flashy, but they're both just gorgeous bags, I think. So honestly, you couldn't go wrong with either. It really just depends on if you want something a little bit, you know, more organized and a little bit more obvious that it's a designer. That would be the Louis Vuitton. If you wanted something that's a little more understated, you know, a little more budget friendly, and also just a little bit, I would say a little more casual probably, the Antigona is the way to go. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this comparison video. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I will catch you in my next video. Take care, guys.